Elon Musk and SpaceX have been incredibly successful, so it makes sense that they would be trying to figure out a so-called formula to his success so they could achieve it too. China has arguably been trying to do just that. Before we go into why someone would want to copy SpaceX and Elon Musk, it should briefly be pointed out why they are successful enough to warrant being copied. First of all, you can't really talk about SpaceX without discussing Musk, as they are so intertwined. Musk founded SpaceX in 2002 with the then outlandish sounding idea to get humans back into space with reusable rockets, then eventually return us to the moon before making a trip to Mars and even possibly colonizing the Red Planet. Now in 2021, with the fact that SpaceX has made incredible strides in rocket technology, it seems a lot more possible we could soon have a base on the moon and even get to Mars in the next decade. SpaceX has been at the forefront of cutting-edge technology with its reusable Superheavy rockets that land themselves after assisting Starships with getting into orbit, launching thousands of satellites into orbit as well for the worldwide internet idea Starlink, and basically has taken over for NASA in America when it comes to actual production and launch of rockets. SpaceX and Musk have had incredible success, and other people and countries have taken note. Countries like China. Musk has had an extremely complicated relationship with China. It has at times been incredibly friendly and complimentary, and at other times been downright combative. Back in July of 2020, Musk observed that China rocks and stated America was full of entitlement, when he described how, in his opinion, China was full of dedicated and hardworking people compared to how Americans could, at times, be, in his mind, lazy. Musk has also worked extensively with China when it comes to another of his companies, Tesla. Tesla is known for its creation and manufacturing of electric vehicles, and in 2019, Chinese government officials helped Tesla qualify for loans worth around $1.6 billion to construct and begin manufacturing vehicles at the company's new and not yet proven Shanghai factory. This all makes Musk and China sound like they get along great. But in November of 2020, things became quite rocky when Musk accused a rival Chinese company known as Xpeng of stealing source codes for Tesla's electric vehicles and Apple's source code for its AR technology, LiDAR. Musk basically felt that Xpeng was trying to steal from Tesla so that it could copy their technology. There was no outright proof of any theft, but Musk, having said it, happened to get many people talking and greatly upset China. With China being a communist regime, the government is heavily involved in all corporations and production, including a company like Xpeng. In other words, when Musk accused Xpeng of stealing from him and Apple, he essentially accused China itself by proxy. After Musk's accusations towards Xpeng, things got pretty chilly between him and China. However, as of March 2021, it seems everyone may be warming up to each other again. In a recent interview with China Central Television, which is owned by the Chinese government, Musk said how in the long run the nation would be his biggest market for Tesla. Musk stated he saw China becoming the biggest economy in the world over the next 10 years in that interview as well. When he wasn't doing interviews, he spoke with government officials during a trip to China in late March, where he addressed everything from helping China reduce its carbon blueprint to assuring the government the cameras on Tesla cars used for actions such as backing up would never be used for spying or corporate espionage. Musk seems to be on good terms with China again, as he is not only getting along with the Chinese government, but is a major celebrity among Chinese citizens too. He has around 1.7 million followers on Weibo, a major Chinese social media platform, and is often talked about by Chinese citizens as an iconic and impressive figure. Both citizens and government officials have said Musk deserves a residential green card and be offered citizenship in China due to all he has done for the country. Clearly, from the great times and moments of animosity, it is clear Musk's relationship with China is complicated. It isn't a one-sided relationship, however, as China has arguably been wanting to learn from the success of Musk and SpaceX, with some even saying the country wants to copy him. It is of little shock that China might want to have Musk's success. Learning from and imitating one of the most successful people in the world just makes sense. After all, Vincent van Gogh once said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal. Depending on how true Musk's claims of Japan stealing from him are, it seems China is already on its way to being a great artist when it comes to its own success. One can honestly say that if it were not for Musk and SpaceX, China would be the unquestioned leader currently when it comes to rockets and space exploration. With SpaceX around, they have a big competitor. In 2020, China launched 34 spaceships and Tesla launched 26. Tesla may very well do more launched than China in 2021. Also, while China's government controls its space program, SpaceX is a worldwide corporation. As a result, this single business controls around 60% of the commercial launch market. Yes, you heard that right. 60% of business dealings with outer space involve SpaceX in some manner. SpaceX's rockets are also cutting-edge technology that China has seemed eager to try and learn from and possibly copy. China's own Long March 9 looks almost like an attempt was made to create a carbon copy of SpaceX's own Superheavy Starship. With most European companies dropping out of developing rockets or launching into space, it has basically become a market of two, SpaceX and China. China wants to work with Musk, yes, but they also want to see if some of his own magic can be copied and allow the country to achieve its own success without having to directly rely on Musk. Elon Musk is both a hero in China and without a doubt their biggest competitor. He is a best friend and a huge rival at the same time. China will surely be happy to work with Musk as long as it needs to, but if chances arise to copy him some or maybe even steal from him, who knows what China might do. This is by no means a criticism of China, as frankly, any country or company would probably love access to the kind of technology Musk and SpaceX have been developing. China just has more chances than most to try and peek behind the curtain, so to speak, when it comes to Musk and SpaceX. As we said earlier, it's a complicated relationship that is just as much trust and friendship as it does possible stealing and backstabbing. As long as Musk and China both can have more success working together than apart, however, it stands to reason Musk will gladly work with China, and China will do the same while trying to learn from and maybe copy Musk and SpaceX too. China has been wanting to learn from the success of Elon Musk and SpaceX ever since they started working with him on everything from Tesla projects to reducing their carbon footprint. There have been accusations that China wants to copy or outright steal from Musk, but nothing conclusive has been proven when it comes down to providing proof. It would make sense if efforts were made to steal or copy from Musk and SpaceX, however, as SpaceX's programs are so successful and the biggest competitor to China's own space efforts. It has been made clear, and Musk and China have an extremely complicated relationship that sometimes is like that of best friends and other times resemble two sworn enemies. We can only wonder how true it is when people claim China is copying Musk or stealing from him. But we can say with absolute certainty that China is wanting to learn from the success of Musk and SpaceX so that they can be more successful in regards to their own space program. As long as Musk and China can benefit from one another, they will work together, and China will try and learn how it can have as much success as Musk himself. If China ever does crack the code to how Musk achieves so much, however, he better look out.
Elon Musk's Starship prototype has been through many iterations and seems to be getting more and more powerful. But what's actually inside it? Starship is the name of the SpaceX program to create a vehicle capable of carrying up to 100 people to Mars. Why Mars? Well, in 2016, Musk laid it out at a conference in Mexico. History is going to bifurcate along two directions. One path is we stay on Earth forever, and then there will be some eventual extinction event. The alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species, which I hope you would agree is the right way to go.
One path is we stay on Earth forever, and then there will be some eventual extinction event. The alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species, which I hope you would agree that is the right way to go.
Starship has been through a number of prototypes, with the SN-10 successfully completing 3 high-altitude flight tests already. What's inside Starship that makes it work, however? Let's explore it. The part of Starship that can fit humans sits atop a rocket known as Superheavy. The Starship body itself has at its back 6 Raptor engines, a technology developed by SpaceX. Their combustion takes place in separate stages, and the engine's design reduces the amount of propellant that's wasted. The middle of Starship has propellant tanks that feed liquid methane, CH4, and liquid oxygen, O2, to the Raptors. The very front of Starship, aka the upper stage, has the payload compartment. This is where a number of people, or a large amount of cargo, could be situated for the trip into space. Or yes, even Mars. The trip to Mars would be lengthy, so you need a lot of cargo, specifically food. Starship is designed with all this taken into account, however. Below the main body of Starship is the Superheavy we mentioned. It lives up to its name with around 28 Raptor engines. This amount of power makes the Superheavy more powerful than even the Saturn V launcher that was used for the Apollo moon mission back in the 60s and 70s. Basically, within the main body of Starship and its Superheavy is a whole lot of rocket power, and then space for people or cargo. How does this actually all work to theoretically get people into space, however? How it works. Musk has said before to SpaceX employees that Starship is the top priority for the company, and making it a functional and safe product has been worked towards since the program's inception. Basically, as it would leave the launch pad, the entire Starship system would pitch towards its intended orbit around Earth. The upper stage would separate once it reaches space thanks to the boosting of Superheavy, and then Superheavy itself would flip over while back to Earth. Superheavy would deploy its grid fins from the sides of its boosters and carefully land back on its launch pad so as to be able to be flown again. As we said earlier, the focus is on making everything reusable. With the main body of Starship in space, it could then dock at a station and be refueled so that it could continue a journey to the Moon or Mars. It could also possibly meet up with another Starship that orbits Earth for the purpose of refueling other ships on their way into space. We know what would be inside Starship and how it would work, but what would it be used for? What would Starship be used for? The end goal of Starship is to get us, humanity, to Mars. A trip to Mars and back would take about 9 months each way, so there would need to be a number of cabins in the payload area of the ship. A comfortable flight would be 100 people, so that no cabin is too crowded. The payload bay would have common areas, storage, shelters for solar storms, and of course, rooms to sleep and bathe in. Some of the technology being developed for Starship could also be utilized by NASA's Artemis program. This program wants to put a long-term human presence on the moon, and in 2020, SpaceX actually received $135 million from NASA to work on a design for Starship that could be used as a lunar lander. Clearly, Starship isn't just a concept for getting to Mars, but living there and getting us situated on the much closer moon. How Starship would return. Eventually, Starship would need to return to Earth. The Starship upper stage, when it would be ready to land, would not use parachutes or wheels to land. It would re-enter the atmosphere at a 60-degree angle and then belly flop to the ground in a horizontal position. Then, it would use 4 steel landing flaps at the fort and back to control its descent, creating drag. Once it went near the ground, Starship would execute an engine burn to flip into a vertical position and then use its Raptors to guide it down to a safe landing. This would be handy on surfaces that lack a smooth and safe space to land, such as Mars. How much has actually been accomplished? As we mentioned, Starship has had some successful tests. It has, however, also had some prototypes explode during attempts at safe landings. Musk has stated that even when a rocket fails, it is useful because of the data gathered. Basically, SpaceX doesn't fail. It either succeeds or learns from its mistakes. Will Starship succeed? Considering how much technology that is now being used was purely theoretical 10 years ago, it stands to reason SpaceX will eventually succeed at ensuring its Starship is safe, secure, and effective. From the careful design of everything inside to the way it will fly into space and return, SpaceX has been hard at work, making Starship everything Musk and his team have dreamed it could be. It stands to reason within the next decade or two, we could very well have boots on Mars, and eventually establish a permanent presence there. Starship is clearly amazing in its design and what's contained inside. Now, SpaceX just needs to put it to use.
Ever since Elon Musk unveiled the Cybertruck, there has been many rumors about what to expect from it and when to expect it. Let's discuss what we should expect when we get a final update before its possibly imminent release from Tesla. It turns out the Cybertruck may be in production as soon as June of this year. Tesla has been preparing its pilot production line at its factory in Giga, Texas, and it's training its human staff to work with the robotic elements. That means we could see Cybertrucks for sale before 2022. There is still a lot that isn't known about the Cybertruck, however, but a lot has leaked out and will most likely be confirmed by a final update from Musk and Tesla sometime before the Cybertruck is officially on the market for consumers. The Cybertruck was first unveiled in 2019 and garnered a wide range of responses. Some were fascinated by its unique look, and others were concerned if it would be effective as a pickup. Since it was first seen, there have been changes made to the Cybertruck based on information that has emerged officially from Tesla, as well as assorted leaks. One thing that has changed is the Cybertruck had its size altered from being absolutely huge to a bit more accessible for houses that may have smaller garages. It seems it has shrunk 6 inches shorter and an inch narrower. It's nothing too big, but enough to help make it a bit more trim and tight. This redesign isn't just for garages though. Europe is an important market, and those European streets and roadways can be tight in certain cities. A slightly more compact Cybertruck makes the difference between cruising through those old European cities and possibly getting stuck in an alley. Don't take this to mean the Cybertruck will be small by any means. It will still be an impressive and sizable machine capable of carrying big loads, as it is at its heart a pickup truck, albeit a highly advanced and technologically superior one. The Cybertruck was unveiled with a midgate, but has been said to be an idea worth considering by Musk, as long as it didn't change the truck's styling too much. A midgate is a panel at the cab of a truck that can be folded to make more space, but can bring with it security concerns. To address this, Musk has actually said he's thought about adding a zapper to a truck. Whether this zapper would outright be a taser that shocks anyone who tries to steal a Cybertruck, or something a little less shocking, would remain to be seen. This may be more of a theoretical feature as opposed to something actually implemented, however. One interesting claim to recently emerge is that the Cybertruck may itself have no door handles. Such a statement would seem like a weird rumor not worth believing, except Musk himself tweeted in response to someone begging for a tease of Cybertruck stuff the sentence, "There will be no handles." When the prototype was unveiled in 2019, it had handles similar to the original Model S. There were handles that stayed flush to the car, but revealed themselves when a key was sensed or the vehicle was unlocked. How could a Cybertruck work that lacks handles, however? Perhaps the car could open and close itself to those outside of the car, or maybe it will have handles inside for easy exit but nothing outside, and do an auto-open feature in response to keys or some kind of app. Other than Musk's both extremely revealing and highly cryptic tweet, we can only excitedly speculate what a handle-free Cybertruck might mean and could look like since it is officially for sale. The Cybertruck may have had certain elements redesigned, but a number of advertised features remain. It has been discussed how planned features for the Cybertruck include options for 400 to 500 miles of range, dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain with dynamic suspension, and the proudly touted 30,000 pounds of towing capacity, as well as the Cybertruck potentially being bulletproof to small arms fire, aka a handgun. The payload capacity for all the Cybertruck models is expected to be 3,500 pounds, and the Cybertruck will seat 6 with a front area that includes a folding middle seat which can function as a center console when lowered. The bed will be 6.5 feet and there will be 100 cubic feet of lockable storage space. As it will be electric, there will be chargers that allow it to be charged quite rapidly at a rate of 250 kilowatts. The adaptive air suspension will allow the truck to raise and lower its height as needed for loading, and like the rest of Tesla's lineup, there will be a large, centrally located touchscreen through which most operations for the truck are conducted. A digital rearview mirror has been promoted a number of times too, making it easy for drivers to safely see what's going on behind the truck without the need for an actual rear window. The stainless steel body and wedge profile that got everyone talking at the Cybertruck's debut also remain, even if the size and certain features have been tweaked. It still unquestionably looks like the Cybertruck we all met in 2019, whether you were someone who loved its look or felt some hesitancy about it. Whatever the final design of the Cybertruck will be, that design is now set with it officially heading into production. Musk has tweeted that for 2021, the focus is getting that beast built. And he has also made it clear that we can expect an official final update in Q2 of 2021. This final update should reveal the actual completed design of the Cybertruck, thereby confirming leaks and official info. The final update will also give a definitive on-sale date that can be assumed will be sometime in the second half of 2021. If full production will begin in June of 2021. It will doubtlessly be exciting to see the final changes Tesla has made to the Cybertruck to optimize it for the market and potential buyers. It will most likely look a good degree different, but still be the Cybertruck we were promised in 2019, just slightly tweaked. With it becoming abundantly clear that the Cybertruck will soon be on sale with some fascinating redesigns as well as incredible originally promised features, this begs the question: what will this thing cost once it finally is on the market? Well, it is expected that the base model of the Cybertruck will cost approximately $39,900 in American dollars. The price increases as we consider more deluxe models because a dual-motor, all-wheel drive version is thought to have a starting price of $49,900. If we get to discussing the tri-motor, all-wheel drive Cybertruck, that could be a starting price of $69,900. If you pay for a top-of-the-line model, you can expect it will make it worth your while though. The fastest model is expected to go from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. And if you add on $10,000 to any model, you can have the Cybertruck include full self-driving, a feature Tesla has been hard at work on with their advanced AI programs. The Cybertruck will not be cheap by any means, but compared to what a powerful pickup truck can cost, a base model is surprisingly affordable compared to competitors and the features their trucks offer in comparison to Tesla. Or, to put more bluntly, don't offer. For a similar price point, you could get a diesel-powered pickup that lacks much of what made the Cybertruck so appealing. Those who use their pickup trucks for a lot of hauling, towing, or other heavy-duty work will find it definitely gives buyers a lot of bang for their buck. A lot has been officially revealed about the Cybertruck, and even more has been leaked or rumored. For now, we need to wait and see what Musk has up his sleeve when he gives us a potential final update in Q2 we've heard official and gives us an actual street date for the Cybertruck. It will be an exciting day, and one that answers many questions that remain to be finalized. Once we know the exact date we can drive a Cybertruck off the lot and see the final model, the only thing we'll need to do is start saving our pennies to afford the model we want and begin dreaming about how exciting it will be to actually own a Cybertruck. Until then, we just need to be patient.
Have you ever wondered what car giant could be the fastest? Well, leave that to Tesla. When it moves really fast. The Model S was debuted in the Tesla's first sedan automobile. It was introduced in the year 2012, and just some days ago, Elon Musk gave us a teaser with a tweet, "Plaid Model S ships next month." The model derives its name from the famous Mel Brooks 1987 film Spaceballs, and it is said to be one of Elon Musk's favorites. You may ask, what's so plaid all about the model beyond having such ludicrous speed? We'll find out together. It comes with a more compact battery architecture and a truly fearsome 3-motor variant priced at $119,990 and offering 1,020 horsepower. Elon Musk boasts that if the Plaid Model S is designed with the right tires, a journey of 200 miles per hour and a 1.99-second 0 to 60 time will be a very small task for it. It'll also be packed with a terminal velocity, and the quarter mile is 155 miles per hour. The design of the 2021 Tesla S Plaid. Since it was designed in the year 2010, the basic shape of the Model S has since remained. The subtle changes there, however, are geared towards the car having better aerodynamics. The new Model S Plaid has a drag coefficient of just 0.208, making it one of the lowest ever on a production car. Tesla's range is reported to be over 390 miles. There was another tweet by Elon Musk where he talked about the Model S Plaid being the first production car ever to achieve 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. As reported by Tesla, there will be 3 Model S versions. The long ranges have 2 motors and all-wheel drive that will be at a price tag of $79,990. The speed will be 3.1 seconds to 60, a 412-mile range, and a 155-mile-per-hour top speed. The other design is the ferocious Plaid. It's priced at $139,990. The model name is called Plaid Plus. It has a horsepower of 1,100, going from 0 to 60 in just 2 seconds. The Plus is very fast. The interior design of the 2021 Tesla S Plaid. The Model S Plaid has a new and cleaner revised interior. The design comes packed with a Knight Rider-style steering wheel with controls that aren't much. The exterior design of the car is pretty going to be unchanged. However, it will feature a new panoramic glass roof. Other tweaks include new wheel designs, an updated rear diffuser, and a modified front bumper. The most noticeable change is seen in the steering wheel's futuristic design that makes it look somehow sinister. The entertainment system of the Plaid Model S boasts of having 22-inch speakers and a system that allows gaming. Wireless charging for devices is also enabled. There's also a Plaid edition of the Model X SUV with the same 1,020 horsepower. The Model X's extra weight means it hits 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds with a 163-mile-per-hour top speed and a 340-mile range. That might be a little slower than the S, but it's still exotic car material. Both Plaid models need a track to fully exploit their performance. 2021 Tesla S Plaid. The Plaid gets an extra motor in the rear, which is how it delivers its huge power output. The Plaid's prodigious speed is a counterstrike at Porsche's Taycan, and Tesla says the vehicle should have more range and performance runs than the older S Tesla. It's very likely that Tesla sees Porsche in the rearview mirror, and the Plaid is intended as a knockout blow. It might also be a warning shot to other competitors, namely GM, who announced this week that they're planning to go all EV by 2035 and have their own 1,000 horsepower EV pickup coming soon from Hummer. That's all for today's video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, stay safe. I know that many people out there ask serious questions like, why is Elon Musk pushing Signal? The straightforward answer to that question is solely because of the privacy policy change recently implemented by WhatsApp. You are welcome to yet another video about tech. How about we get some background story of the whole setup? We already know that WhatsApp is very popular. Their user reach is over 2 billion users across the world. WhatsApp says that they cannot view the messages you send because the conversations are protected by high-level encryption and data cannot be collected. One of its hooks is that WhatsApp says it cannot view the content of the messages you're sending thanks to the encryption. However, some other data can be taken from users. After the company announced an update in its privacy policy, some sentences raised cause for alarm by its users. The privacy policy would be implemented on the 8th of February. It says that the social platform gets information from there and shares it with one of its family companies. In a real sense, what this means is that WhatsApp, the things you share on WhatsApp, can be shared with Facebook. In all, that means that our privacy cannot be respected, hence the uproar by users. In defense, WhatsApp releases statements to remove from the users' hearts to tell them that the messaging they refer to is mainly for business. Elon Musk, being the radical he is, leaves a tweet saying, "Use Signal." It was then retweeted by the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey. Immediately, people started to download Signal. The design is very simple and minimalist. You can liken it to the standard text messaging app design. On their website, it is expressly written that privacy is key. There are testimonials from users like Edward Snowden and Jack Dorsey. You know, if I visit a website and I see that it is also used by Jack Dorsey, I'll also want to use that website. That is how social proof works. With an end-to-end data protection encryption, users can send texts, videos, images, and documents and stay without fear of it being seen by other people. In any case the messages are compromised by third parties, it'll only amount to them looking at gibberish. Some people may not like Signal, but they can also look into using Telegram. They're good too. According to some researchers and tech developers, the encryption Telegram offers doesn't look like an open-source platform. That means it is not fully clear what happens to your messages when they get to Telegram servers. Regardless of this, Telegram seems very confident that others cannot hack Telegram. By now, you'll also know that Elon Musk has proved himself not to be someone who champions Facebook at all. There was actually a post of him saying, "Delete Facebook, it's lame." Elon Musk also accuses Facebook of helping to fuel the riots that took place at the US Capitol. all of these things made Signal have many people download. Signal became really known and started the countdown to beating WhatsApp as a major contender to messaging.